That's recording. Yep.
Cool.
Wukong game. Yep, this one.
Yep.
Which server are you playing on? NA?
EU West.
West, okay. Let's take a look at your OPGG first. Cherry K99. Okay, so what's your goal for the season?
I want to get at least high diamond or like potentially masters if I get like on a
Mhm.
roll. Haven't started the season too well to be honest, but also haven't played a lot because I didn't have time.
Yep, I mean, it all
Uh,
comes down to just like usually the amount of games you have played. Of course, like we have to improve as well to get higher ranks. But yeah, I mean, the turnaround rule is that you have to have some sort of consistency when you're playing this game. So how a lot of people like to do it is they try to look for like a 2 games per day kind of thing, so they don't like you can avoid getting burned out by playing like 700 games. The other thing is that like when you go for these like high number of games per day, um, you're not playing at this high intensity. For example, you went for a pretty hefty play day here. Let's see, like 7 games. So again, like these last 3 games, you are not like on your peak performance basically. So that's another reason why people like to have like a kind of a low games per day kind of process for themselves.
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so that's something you can think about, of course, having a process, playing a few games per day, but like you can kind of stretch them out because again, like it burns out our kind of intensity.
Mhm.
So in order to play it, and of course, like breaks between and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's also good, yeah.
Yep, in order to play at highest intensity, try to limit games to. So I like to do is like 3 to 5 games, for example, a day. But again, like this is something kind of not as important. But of course, like when we think about which is more important, quality or the quantity, it's usually gonna be quality.
Hmm.
But let's try to limit games to 3 to 5 a day, breaks in between, etc. This is something you can look out for extensively. For example, on YouTube, there's this Broken by Concept podcast, a League of Legends podcast by two of the coaches,
Oh, yeah, I
Coach
know
Nathan
these
and
two, yeah.
Coach. Yeah, they talk a lot about like intensity and stuff like that. So that's something you can check out as well.
Mhm.
Um, yep, you're playing Sec mostly, I see. Kind of trying a lot of stuff here. What's your usual champ pool?
I mean, my main champion is Hecarim, but I feel like this season I didn't have like a lot of success on him because I don't know, I just don't think he's that strong.
Mhm.
So Zac and Vi are my kind of like second, and Graves are like my 3 champions behind Hecarim, I think, that I can play
Okay.
quite good.
Yep, and it's good to have like a solid champ pool, and again, like it's really good to have like a few champions like this, for example. So if Hecarim, for example, falls out of meta really hard, then you can like pick all these other champs up, and so yeah, that's really good. And again, like I wouldn't go too much on these experiments. For example, J4 here, obviously as well, but like you obviously don't want to kind of first time champions a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Jarvan is like a champion that I play a lot in competitive when we play together,
Mm,
so I'm
okay.
kind of used to him.
Yep.
But
Good.
I get the idea though. Like Poppy is kind of random here for sure.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Um,
And Mordekai's
yeah,
bit of maokai. For example, if you want to pick up champions like this, I don't mind it. I pick up champions all the time myself. I love to play the meta. So what you need to do is you kind of like to need to stick to it. Like play at least like 5 games in a row or something like that. So you actually like get used to the champion.
mhm,
But yep, your champion pool is pretty balanced here. We are kind of playing the same identity. We are kind of want to play for level 6, want to gank, want to impact with our ult, buy wukong, J4 even stuff like this. So yep, there's something funky going on here. If you play Graves, he has a bit different uh, mindset when playing the game, but and of course these are kind of like more on the carry side of jungle. But yep, we don't really need to talk about that. I think you have a pretty good idea what you're doing when picking these champs. But yep,
cool.
yep, just keep the pool simple, yeah. But it's you've been keeping it very simple as well, so yeah, I like it. I'm actually not gonna type anything about this. I think it's important. Yeah, you're in last season Diamond 3, and
Yeah,
this season looking for Masters. I think, yep, doable. But again, we have to play, we have to review, we have to kind of still work for it. So again, uh, I don't know how many games you have time to play for, but except for example, like at this
that's
pace,
not
we are
a lot.
probably not gonna end up really at really high games played number. So again, like you
No,
can look towards the process. For example, try to get a few games in a day or something like that. Kind of consistency in the process. That's important.
Yeah, I just finished exams now at the end of June, like January, so now I should have more time
Yep,
to do
yep.
some games.
Of course. Real life goes way over League of Legends. But again, like some consistency is good. Except, for example, as you said, like when you're busy in real life, the process can help you with like, okay, now I have time for a few games, and I just you can limit it to 2 games. You don't need to play that 7 games block and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So we are playing wukong this game. What do you want to do with wukong this game?
I think there are two options. Like first option is kind of to try to get this Camilla head because she has a good gank setup, but killing Sign is not always the easiest thing to be honest.
Hmm.
I always struggle to play for mid. I don't know why.
For bot?
So I think for bot lane would be here kind of the best because we have Asher, we have Morgana Q, we also have Morgana E, which helps.
Yep,
So probably playing for bot here is the best.
yep. A lot of CC, especially after 6. And yep. So where would you start patting? You start patting topside? Or...
I don't remember where, but ideally I think I should start top and run
Yep,
bot here.
yep. Just always
I'm not
like
sure if
in
they
general,
did it.
especially yeah, especially this season. Always just like because there isn't much fancy stuff you actually need to do anymore. Uh, for example, in terms of reverse clays, of course there are some new invade, for example, red raptors, enemy crux, stuff like that. But in general, just always start pathing towards the lane you want to gank. So a few things about the top matchup. So when we have these top matchups, kind of like both of these like to scale, they kind of like the hard to kill for both you and the maokai. So I approach these matchups is I always like think about okay, I can just let them play the game, and if there's like a really obvious opportunity for me, then I'll go. So that's
Okay.
how I always like approach these. For example, Sion Casante, something like that, or On
Mhm.
Casante. Top matchup, they want to play themselves. Hard to gank for both you and Maokai. And the other thing too important here is that if Maokai ends up batting towards top, it's actually not that bad for us if we get to get all this pressure on the bot side because the important thing here is that both top laners have TP. So what that means when you get a kill of the top laner, you don't actually gain that much value. You don't like kill
Yeah.
them and then they TP back. Of course they lose the TP and then they are like prone to getting reganked. But again, like if you really want to make a high impact play on the top side, you kind of have to regank the TP, slow push, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So again, like when they have TP, the first gank is usually not that impactful to begin with, unless they are already down on TP.
Yeah. I
And that's
agree.
also you can think of for yourself. Like I wouldn't worry too much about my camel getting dove here, for example, because again, she has TP.
Hmm.
Top laners have TP. Uh, one kill doesn't give give much value. Because the TP is just kind of a cheat recall kind of thing there.
Yeah. I just got back. Yeah.
Uh, jungle matchup. Yep, I mean Maokai really hard to invade. Probably not looking to invade in
Yeah.
general. We are playing
I mean, I
Wukong.
do win the 1v1, right? But it's hard to like
Yeah,
kill
it's
him.
really hard. Marka in general, he throws the saplings. If you want to invade, you're gonna run into a sapling. He has space rush, really fucking hard to catch up and
Mm.
stick to him. Really hard to solo invade a spool. Uh, he can run away with face, pushes away, saplings keep position, and again, like he has so much utility. Like Maokai is almost impossible to invade if they are playing like anti-invade stuff. So it's just really
Yeah.
hard in general. So how you want to approach these situations when the enemy jungler is playing gank in jungler and you don't have that strong gank is you usually want to play for the counter gank because again like the general idea here is that the person who counter ganks is always like uh, by default in a winning position because you are kind of the surprise factor. The counter gank has a surprise factor. Like let's say
Mhm.
these guys want to 2v2 your bot lane here, then you jump over the wall and they're like, oh shit, now this guy's here. We already blew all our summoners and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. They maybe overcommit or something
Yep,
like, or
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
and they are basically not expecting you to be there, and then you are there, and then they have already used everything, and then there's like kind of a you're by default in a winning position. The person
Mhm.
who's countering the gank is by default in a winning position. So that's something you can think about when you're playing against these gank heavy junglers. Just look for the
Mhm.
counter gank, look where they want to gank, and just kind of be there to either deny the gank or for the counter gank. Well, of course, the counter gank is better since that gives you also value. But the thing with this champion, for example, and the gankers in general, if they don't get the gank, they kind of get upset. Like, ah, oh, fuck, this guy's here, and I can't get anything. For example, that's like for example, when you play Hecarim, that's something I always do against Hecarims. I match their full clear and counter their gank at the end of their full clear because that always gets them like kind of like riled up. They're like, fuck, fuck, this guy's just easy. I didn't get anything, and then it's just like so much easier for against Hecarim, for example, to win the game when they don't get these free gank opportunities. So obviously, always just look to deny the gank.
Mm-hmm.
Look to deny ganks. Enemy Mao wants to gank a lot.
Yeah.
And again, with Wukong, we obviously want to play for the 6. And what
Mm-hmm.
we want to do with Wukong specifically, I'm going to type it here right now. Solo laners get 6 at 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Jungler 7 to 8. And bot lane 8 to
Oh,
9.
that,
So yeah.
okay.
So what we want to do, of course, we have this 1 minute timer when the enemy bot lane doesn't even have ults. So this is the moment when we always want to look out for the okay, we have a really strong power spike over these bot lanes because they don't have even the abilities unlocked yet. So this is something you want to do when you're playing these ult heavy junglers by Wukong, maokai, Zac, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Zac not that much, but you get the idea.
Yep.
So with level 6, always keep in mind the ult bot option. And again, ult bot option usually grants you the Drake, a lot of kills, a lot of gold because again there's 2 champions down there.
Mm-hmm.
Bot matchup, bot matchup. What do I think about this bot matchup? Your bot probably gets a push here, 2 ranged versus 2 melees, 1 melee. That's usually a pretty good sign that okay, 2 ranged, they get to hit more minions, they get to get the prio, pretty much. But
Mm-hmm.
there's something you can consider. For example, this guy's running Tarkon, so he can one shot the minions. But just let's not get too in depth about that. But yeah, so we can expect 2 ranged. We have the push by default. Another thing
Mm-hmm.
is, for example, a really common meta at the moment is double ADC, and
Yep.
that is a good sign. Okay, these guys are gonna get pushed because the double ADC is literally for that reason. Okay, we want the push. We want to control the wave.
Mm-hmm.
We have the push. So again, what that means for the enemy jungler. Okay, these guys get the push. I probably want to gank them there in a vulnerable situation in the lane, stuff like that. But match. Oh, we actually didn't cover mid matchup at all. Yep. So mid matchup really fucking calm. Two ranged mages basically. Kog'Maw's playing the AP version. But yeah, we do have ignite and electrocute. So Vex has really a lot of kill pressure, but we wouldn't expect too much trading going on because again, double range lane, they can kind of free hit minions.
Yep.
Not expecting a lot of heavy trading again. Also, they are relatively safe because they are double
Mm-hmm.
range. Yeah,
Yep.
what I would like to add here, Vex's electrocute and ignite, so she offers a lot of kill pressure though. If for example Kog'Maw overextends stuff like that. So yep, we can still definitely look for the mid play.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on to the game. Yep. But this game, what I would do probably start top side, 3 camps, look if this guy's already overextending. If not, just go for the bot play and just kind of play around the waves, kind of try to predict this maokai and again deny the ganks because that's what this champ wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do 1.5 speed, green pad. Yep. Okay, so let's see. Actually, talk about this instantly. If you're planning to go for this invade, always just grab the sweeper because sometimes supports already do that now, but like yeah, we actually didn't
Yeah,
think
I
about it
agree.
at all. Yeah, we didn't think
Because
about
I
it at all.
didn't want to go and then I get kind of dragged into it later on, and it's,
Yeah, okay, yep. But if you are looking for it, then yeah, just grab the sweeper because
yeah.
Yeah.
it's really bad that we walk into the stripe here and we don't have sweeper. They might know, especially against Sion. Like Sion loves to counter invade in this process. Charge the queue, 5 people,
Yeah,
boom,
it's a
it's
banger.
already half HP. Yeah, exactly.
I think
But,
actually something like that happens. Let's see. I don't
yep,
exactly remember what happened, but I think we get kind of cocked here.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly that happened. Yeah, classic the enemy team wasn't there waiting for us. So yeah. So what I usually even tell my team if we are kind of like when we are running down there and I see the tab, no one has sweeper. It's just like just no. It's just like we
Yeah,
have
it's a
no
bit dumb.
sweeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always look to level 1 with sweeper.
The ones I hate invades most of the time, but
First tab. Yep. First tab to see if you support got it level 1. Yep. So now we probably want have to start top bot side here.
yeah, I
Yep.
think I do go for that. Yeah.
Yep. Now we are matching maokai. Yep, it's still fine. The one thing I like about this is that we actually matching the maokai. So we'll probably be matching him on the top side. One thing maokai players love to do though is they love to do 3 camps into same side gank. And that's something
Mhm.
we can't really counter because we will be wukong level 3 with blue buff. We are not that important in the fight anyway. So that's something you can also, when you're playing against the junglers, you'll have to do the level 3 bot gank. For example, Rek'Sai maybe, Maokai, Shaco. You want to tell your team to ward this brush. So again, like something we could have done at the start of the game when we entered that brush anyway. But yeah,
Mhm.
I wouldn't worry too much about counter ganking this bot side play, for example, if you're worried about that, because again, like we are not strong at all. Nothing we can do. Just take, if we got for the gank, just keep clearing. And then we can maybe look to establish prio on the top or mid here, and then we can invade with the prio.
Mhm.
Yep, mid lane is straight. Bot lanes are going really heavy. Okay, so here what I would have seen, what I would have liked to see is every time you start the game, you do 3 camps. Always check the lane you are leaving or pathing away from.
Okay.
220 every time you leave the side of the jungle.
Mm.
Check the lane you're pathing away from. Because again, like if we, for example, we see that this bot lane starts really hard fighting here when we are with Raptors, and then we are like, oh, now I want to go, but like it's already too late, you know? Like we are already on the opposite side of the map. We are coming to the next set of camps. Another thing here is that what I would like to pick at is you don't need to always like look at your lanes like boom, 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 like 700 APM. I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is like keep top of these health bars. And another thing is just always keep your eyes on the minimap. For example, here we actually don't see that these guys are really close, but for example in top side we can see like these guys are really close. They are fighting, so that's a
Mhm.
good signal to actually click the lane and see what's going on.
Okay.
Always have eyes on minimap, so we know when to click lane to check. For example, uh, uh, close to each other, close to each other, chasing or running away, running away, health bars start moving a lot. For example, this mid player, we see this guy's really low. Again, I would like notice that and I would like, okay, I want the peep mid right now because again, maybe I can pick this guy off. Yep, now we do actually, and he had a dying. Okay. Yep, but again, we missed that Morgana is really getting chunked here. These guys are really like trading heavy. Again, I would have liked to see what's going on bot lane before actually deciding to move on with my camps here.
So basically, I think it's. I mean, I don't know. Like, is it like good to then move like after wolves to just go bot and leave your top camps?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Especially in this meta. So that's what, especially in this season, that's what junglers have to do all the time. I always look for the 3 camp options on any champion I play, really. Even when I play Katus, before I leave, I'm like, okay, is there something I can do immediately? And if there's nothing to do, then I just keep on clearing. But I always look for the 3 camp options because this season specifically, uh, your camps are not getting invaded here because the camps are so fucking hard to take on opening clear jungler from the enemy jungler because they have the damage reduced. So
Yeah.
basically, they have like platings. I really don't worry about losing my camps, especially during early game.
Okay.
Won't worry about losing camps, especially in early game. So basically, what you'll do, you'll be here, you basically kill them or whatever, and then you recall. It takes you 30 seconds to be back on the right side. Like the maokai doesn't have the time to invade your camps.
Okay.
Even if they do, they only get 1 camp. Like it's no big deal. We got 600 gold on the bot side. I take that 600 gold every day. You know.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
So later on in the game, for example, 9 to 10 minutes, then I can start worrying about. Okay, I have 3 camps up. Do I really want to go for this bot play?
Okay. Makes
That's when
sense.
I want to think about it. But early game, yeah, you're not gonna get invaded. And if you are, it's just 1 camp. No big deal. And again here, it's just camera control. What I want to look out for again, I'm nearby a lane, I'm nearby mid, or I'm nearby top. Mid lane is actually pretty neutral, then just came back to lane. Again, I want to always keep know what's happening on the nearby lane in case I have to move. Or in case I have
Mhm.
to deny a gank, for example, if this is looking really fucking gankable for Maokai, we could expect that Maokai wants to be there.
Yeah. It's good to like think what the other junglers thinks as
Yep.
well, right?
Yep, exactly. That's basically what we do. Especially when we are in this matchup, what I talked about earlier, we want to deny this ganking jungler they ganks, and that's yeah. And in general, just counter gank always is winning position.
Okay.
So it means uh, you want to always know what's happening on the nearest lane. So again,
Okay.
like if there's something going on, then it's just so easy for us to just walk down here. It takes us like 5 seconds to be there. So again, just keep an eye out.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, so that we peep. Good. He's full HP. Hassan is full HP. He's in a pushing wave. I wouldn't really worried about uh, Camille getting ganked here again. So yeah. Yep, fine. Another thing we want to do, again, we start on the same side as the enemy jungler. We have done full clear. What usually happens, the enemy has done full clear. It's really easy to track in the early game. So again, like ping this side of the jungle. We know my guy's here. I don't want this guy to get ganked, for example, when we are here. So this is really risky. I don't like this at all. Why you think I don't like this?
Because there's a chance that Sion didn't base, and we
Mhm.
don't have prio top then. If
Yep,
he
we have
didn't.
0 prior here. So entering river, how I like to think about entering river and how I want you to think about it. Think of entering river, always an aggressive option. So what that
Okay.
means is you always want to think about, okay, if I find someone here, who is able to help me? Who is able to help me? Is your mid be able to help you? Nah, not really. I mean, he could maybe, but like not in the moment. Or is the top lane able to help you? No, not at all. So again, like every time we enter river, and this applies even further down into the game. For example, we move to Herald. Always think of uh, the river as the aggressive option and Scuttle as the aggressive camp. The safe
Mhm.
camps are in your jungle. The aggressive camps are in the neutral wave, kind of no man's land. Think of it as an aggressive option. If you do find someone, is anyone able to help you? Like, I would be expecting to get really fucking high collapse here, or like hard collapse here by Sion in this pressure of Marcus just walking up here. Like, this is really, really, really risky. So every time you enter river, I think about, can I take the 1v1, for example? And can I even do anything? Again, we don't have even smite here. He ends up leaving the camp for us anyway. Really nice. And actually, Vex is kind of hovering here. But yeah, again, like always think about, can I actually do this?
Okay.
Yep. So again, we don't want to think based on results because again, okay, this is
Yeah,
really
I
good.
agree.
Yeah, we get the camp here, really good stuff. But again, we want to go for the consistency play and we want to be consistent in jungle.
I see what you mean there.
Yep.
It might have worked out, but it shouldn't, I guess.
Yep. I mean, it's kind of like we want to think of plays like percentage based, like and always we want to go for the high percentage play. And again, like how high percentage chance is it that this play works out without me having to use my flash or actually even dying? You know,
Okay.
they're gonna be in the river. We know Maokai's here. Botlane is able to move. Okay, now we can maybe fight. We get to smite that away. Good. Yep. Everyone disengages. Good. Awesome stuff.
So here's one question I have, right? Do you
Mhm.
opt here for another clear or do you opt the base?
Uh, it kind of depends. Are you buying Divine Sunderwear?
I think I go this game, yeah. Sometimes I go like also Tiamat and then into Divine, but I felt
Yep.
this game they're relatively tanky, so I went for Divine instantly.
Yep. Okay. So there are a few things I would think about here. But yeah, general. When you kind of end up on this same side, the camps are already spawning up.
Mm.
It kind of makes no sense for you to recall and come back here. It's not gonna make you clear camps faster. So in this specific situation, I don't see it an issue taking just these camps. Like it's gonna be faster for you to get these camps down, and as is like move on with life. But a few important things to here to consider. Also, wait, I was gonna talk about the gold situation. Yeah. So a general rule: when you have the gold for your first important component, let it be whatever iron inputs of lucidity you're playing tanks, Sheen for example, Dirk, whatever. Just like in general rules, just always recall for the Dirk. But the important thing here is why I probably would like to recall even is that the Drake is coming up in 40 seconds, and we could back the Dirk here, and that's something you always want to consider. For example, when you have a strong winning bot side, here for example we have a pretty strong prior established here. We could maybe just a recall, but the
Mhm.
actual like the optimal play, I don't know. I feel like this is a lot of fucking stuff here, but the actual optimal play I would have liked to do here is that we see the bot wave. It's a really strong slow push. What you can do is you can just walk down here, push this wave in with your team, so they get a recall, you get a recall, then you can come back to the lane. And like what this does is that Maokai cannot kind of stick around here and wait for the gank to present itself on the bot side, and it's gonna protect your lane from getting ganked. And again, it's gonna grant all of you like recall timer, and that's something you want to consider when you want to play for dragons, for example. But again, the important thing here is that really strong slow push for our team. So what we basically we want to either stick around until the slow push is completed to actually again deny the gank from maokai, or just push in the wave. So again, we deny the gank. So again, like denying gank, and it's really important because basically, especially in this season, like junglers don't care that much about their camps. They care about the waves, because the waves are the ones which grant you the gank option. For example, this wave is going to be pushed in 20 seconds, and again, it could be pretty easy for the marker to show up there and gank. So that's something you want to think about. Recent slow push our team. And again, we know Markai is bot side, so he's around the area. Again, kind of want to make sure he doesn't get his gank off by pushing in this wave.
Okay.
Want to make sure he gets the wave in without getting ganked. Because again, like the slow push means it's easy for the enemy to gank it. And again, that's where you want to be. Where is the easy gank for the Markai?
Yep. I think actually something like that happens if I recall correctly. Yeah.
Yep. Another thing, for example, to notice here at this time is 5 minutes. For example, if you okay, he does actually end up ganking it. But yeah, so if you want to, for example, look for this Drake option at this moment, like the Drake is spawning up, oh, I want to do the Drake, I want to do the Drake, and you get this, you want to use a slow push to get the Drake. ADCs in the bot lane usually haven't even recalled. Your bot lane actually has recalled because they died already, but like they usually haven't even recalled at this time. So that's why I kind of want to just get them the recall option by pushing in the wave. But yeah, so Marka ends up gank the slow push. Again, like he can just hide in these brushes and wait for the wave to come by, and it's really easy for him to go for this gank, as we see
Yeah.
here. Except there's definitely something we could have anticipated. But yeah, he actually dies for it. Jesus Christ. Well
Yeah.
played by
I
team.
think they dive or something. I don't know.
Yep, so this is obviously really good. But again, I would have liked to be there because again, we could have recognized really easily that the gank was something Marka wanted to do. So
Okay. No.
good gank identifiers for Maokai. Slow push. Enemy has to walk in. Your bot has no Samster, I think, because they have already died like twice. I assume they don't have Samster anymore. So yeah, and that's something we want to counter, and especially like we knew Marka is around the area because we actually saw him on the map. We like chased him all the way here at the bot side of the map. And another thing, his camps are here spawning, so even in 1 minute he's gonna be on the bot side. So again, get the wave in, really important to deny
Okay.
ganks. So this is especially really important if you like playing Clash or competitive with your friends or something like that. It's always like uh, basically how a lot of people think that competitive play is. It's just like a bouncing wave simulator, for example, 40 minutes of bouncing wave simulator, because the wave is so important
Yeah.
regarding gank setup. We know my guys around. Could have anticipated really easily again. Yep. Using global team, want to make sure team gets waving without getting ganked. For example, push wave with team, recall with team, think of Drake, stuff like that. Also, another thing you can do uh, is you can actually benefit a lot from helping your laners push in the wave, especially in bot and top. So what that does for you, so let's say, it's getting a bit theoretical here, but let's say you push in this wave with your team, the wave is really crashed, these guys can recall, you can recall. What's going to happen with the next wave is when you crash the wave, obviously the next wave is going to start slow pushing again back towards your lane. So what you can do is that you can recall at the same time as your team, you can run back here, and now you can play the mark guy. Now you can wait at the brush, wait for the slow push, and you can go get the gank off. So again, that's how you can really easily utilize the slow push for yourself. Even you're not only helping your team, because I know junglers want to think, okay, what's in it for me? Well, what's in it for you is that you get a gank option on the bot side yourself.
Plus, it gets some XP from the wave also, right? Which is not that bad.
Yep. Yep. So yeah. So now would be a really good time to recall. I wouldn't go for the second rotation. Now would be a really good time to recall. But maybe you might be thinking, okay, I want to play for this Drake. So if you want to play for this Drake, then yeah, this is fine. So you take these camps here, and you're not able to impact the map here at all. But if you are thinking about the Drake, then I can definitely see this play
Yeah.
like
I mean,
reasonable.
I think personally, I opt a lot into just farming sometimes, which is not ideal. I think because I don't know I have like this kind of thing that I just want to keep my sequencing like always kind of in a straight
Yep.
line.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that's the correct thing, but I just kind of get dragged into that sometimes. That's why
Yeah,
I kind of
that's a really common. Okay, actually, goes to gank the slow push again. Yeah, this is what junglers have to do in this season. this is what the lead show they camp. So this is a, for example, if you had recalled, uh, for Warhammer or Sheen and Warhammer here, you could have just seen this, okay, and checked up. He hasn't actually cleared these camps at all because of how he played the game. So we could actually just instantly go to his top side, take the top side, whatever. We deny 2 camps and stuff like that. So that's
Mhm.
basically the reason why you want to recall as soon as possible. Because now again, like if you go hit these camps, it's gonna take us fucking forever because we have literally 0 damage bot.
Yeah.
But yep, now we end up recalling. So to buy Dirk double long, really nice. Yep. And again, like now important thing to notice, or now what's an important thing to realize is that since maokai has been spending so much time on the bottom side of the map, he's probably going to he's going to start heading towards the top side. So again, like this could be an opportunity for us to use this slow push we're going to generate on the bot side to push in the wave and take the Drake without maokai being able to contest it.
Mhm.
You go for the Drake instantly, solo it. Yep. Okay, that's fine. Um, yep. What I also like to do is when I have this pink for this objective, I like to drop the pink here. Another thing I would like to do is that I would, especially on these really early trades, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, I want to have someone here to help me. I don't like soloing the trade; it takes me so long. And another thing is that your bot lane is in risk here of getting camped or trapped by the enemy team. For example, they could have faked a recall here. The enemy team could have faked a recall around here. They could just wait in the brush for your team to walk up. So again, like just kind of think of the options. In general, what I like to do on this early trades, I want to utilize prio, so I can even go get the prio. For example, again helping these guys push the wave, so they can rotate here to help you. Kind of like I help you, you help me, kind of thing. I
Okay.
want to utilize prio and have someone to help me with killing the Drake. This especially for early trades. Later on in the game, you obviously want to have prio and your team there to help you because the enemy team is most likely to be around the Drake as well. But yep, this is really good. Maokai is topside here, and we get to take it free. Maokai's actually not seen the map at all. Interesting. His topside campus is still up. But again, like we could anticipate, he's going to go for the top side.
Yeah.
So again, now we arrived to the situation. We are really close to level 6, 7 minutes in the game. Again, we go back to when does bot lane at level 6, level 8 to 9. Again, what we like to do, I would always look for maybe we can punish this somehow. Maybe we can look for the
I
ult
think
play.
here, yeah, I think blue buff into bot. I don't know if I do that, but like that seems to be
Yep,
the obvious play here.
yep, exactly. Like we have a slow push here. We get level 6. Really good. We can look for this. Again, like so this is what I hate about supports now is that supports have watched way too many videos. Like now supports understand when they have a roam timer. For example, this slow push is a roam timer for support. So what you want to do if you're actually thinking about doing this play is just like ping help 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 or gank all in all in all in whatever. So this
Mhm.
Morgan actually understands that okay, I want to be bot for the slow push instead of using that as a roam timer. But yep, you're not looking for it. Yep, they're pretty far away. Again, we maybe could have looked for something since we do have Uh, again, they don't have ults, and we do have Vex roaming with us, and Vex can really easily it's just like blow stuff up if he gets to kind of get a free ult. But yeah,
Yeah.
nothing too fancy going on here. Also, another thing, how I would approach this gank. Uh, so we see them drive to the lane. They kind of disappear to the fog. This is the time when they use wards, and when they usually use wards, this brush here, and
Mhm.
this what is this Braum actually goes out of his way and comes to your jungle. So yeah, so what I would usually like to do in this kind of situation when I want to gank the slow push, what I do is I jump over this Drake pit,
Mhm.
use the blast gun of 5 minutes, jump over here, and then I can gank from behind.
Okay, that's smart. Yeah.
That's something you can really utilize. This blast gun and the one over the Drake pit spawn in 5 minutes, so that you can also think about that in terms of gank pathing. And in terms of like gank pathing in general, you always want to avoid as many wards as possible, and the usual suspects are going to be these two brushes. Yep. So the one thing I do worry about this, uh, we are kind of making this long play here. We've been on the map known for 30 seconds. We don't know where maokai is. And again, like we have 3 camps up here. And again, we are arrived at the 8 minutes mark. There's going to be Herald up. There's going to be only 3 camps spawning up. Uh, yeah, this is also an important time. 8 minutes is when when the entire opposite side of jungle starts spawning up in usual games. So again, like this is when I would start worrying about, okay, I may be starting to lose something if I stick around here for too long.
Mhm.
So instead of going for these camps here, it's kind of again we are kind of too focused on the sequencing. I would be more worried about defending my camps here because we don't know where Marka is. We haven't seen him in a long time.
Mhm.
Haven't seen Marka in a long time. We have shown to Maokai for a long time. So usually what they want to do if they are not in the area, they always want to trade. That's what you want to do. If you have to give
Yeah.
something up, you always want to look for something in return. So yeah, I mean the sequencing, whole sequencing thing, I know where it's from. It's like from season 8 when we had the farming meta. It was really important because it just made it so much easier for you to get level 6. But it's really not that important anymore, especially in this season. Junglers are really more like on the ganking side. They want to be proactive and stuff like that. So the sequence is really not that important anymore. So
Okay.
just think more about the game like in a wider angle than just thinking about the sequencing.
Okay.
8:30.
Yeah, hopefully this patch changes it a bit. No, the next one is
I honestly don't think so.
more.
This
It's not gonna do much, I think.
No, not at all. Actually, I think the only thing it does is people are gonna have more wards, but that's pretty much it. I don't think the jungle chain is actually gonna change nothing at all. Like it's so marginal.
Ah, okay. It's 5 XP, so it's not that much,
Yeah,
right?
it's 5 XP. It's not that much. Like it's basically at the end of your full cloud, you have gained 2 minions. Like it's worth of XP. So it's yeah. I really wish they do something. I hate this meta. I hate how junglers play. But yeah,
I mean, like I feel like what this maokai was doing is like so illegally stupid, but it's kind of what
yep,
people have to do, all right?
yeah, exactly. And it's like the reason why it's illegal is stupid and it works because you can't really punish for that. Like for example, we were here in the Crux. This guy just bought all his camps up. We can't even invade these camps because it just takes us too long. And then we could potentially, for example, lose the Drake and stuff like that because the higher elo you go, when they make these plays, like it's extended plays, they regank whatever, they know the camps are up. Uh, they usually track you well enough for them to know, okay, I lost my camps here. So what they do, they go bot again and again and again. Kind of like they just know to keep up the top side and they can trade you for Drake and stuff like that. And obviously it's really bad. I'd be worried about my camps here.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
go defend camp. So again, the reason we haven't seen Maokai in a long time, we have shown the Maokai for a long time. So that's kind of like a basic idea. Okay, what does the enemy jungler want to do here? Probably he wants to invade or he wants to do this Herald
Hmm.
for something.
So I guess here, what I guess I should run to like red buff, and then maybe like check also the herald and do red buff, and then I can like also like turn around my like pathing, right?
Yep,
Because like, and which is also good because I kind of want to play for bot lane anyways, right?
yep, exactly. Yeah, and that's basically the reason why sequence is that important anymore because you arrive at this situation when you can like kind of like choose where I want to end up my next full clear rounds, the type of
Mhm.
thing. So yeah, but also what I would probably do here, the play is over here. Just start recalling, head to my top camps, defend my top camps. You can drop the pink ward here. That's what I'll have to do. For example, when I don't have this prior, but at least it's give me information on okay if he's on it, if he's not on it,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I would be worried about defending my camps here, not the sequencing. So again, we end up going for the bot play anyway. We still don't see Maokai. This okay, so this is a moment where we could expect. Okay, he probably took our top side.
Yeah.
Kai's actually
I
jumps
mean,
into a team.
yeah, that's really kind of enticing from them, to be honest.
Yeah.
He actually jumps into the Ash Arrow, which is hilarious.
Yep. But again, now I wouldn't recall because again we have been on the map for so long. We actually see Maokai here. Okay, he
Hmm.
probably took our camp. So you can actually see he does have your red buff. You can click the buff to see how recent it is, and if it's
Yeah.
really recent, it's most likely your buff. So again, this is
Yeah.
like what I talk about trading sites, trading sites. So this is the moment when you could trade sites. Just take these crocs and you can maybe even look to regank this or whatever. But like top side is gone. Actually, he
Hmm.
just died here, but yeah. I would expect my top camps to be down here. The reason
Yeah.
why,
Well,
he's been off the map for so long, and we knew he was top side by the time we were at bot side. So again, like
mhm.
jungle tracking, should expect. But again, it's not a big deal to walk here now because he's dead already, so it doesn't matter. Like we are not trading anything on this side anyway, because what he's gonna do is he's gonna again start walking towards bot when he spawns. So yeah, in this
Yeah.
specific situation, it's fine to go top. I like it.
Okay.
Maokai has been missing um, for a long time in top. Yeah, let's see. Do we actually have a campsite? We do, and he didn't even take the herald. This guy is obviously fucking griefing. But yeah, so actually, the higher level you play, for example, in Masters games, for example, you would have
Yeah, we get
definitely been
punished.
punished for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something to
This
worry
guy.
about when you go for these really extended plays on the bot side. Think about what you are potentially losing. So, for example, when the gank goes through and it like works out, yeah, good stuff. But then we should expect that okay, our top camps are most likely gone here because Mark has a straight up switch sides with us. But
Mhm.
yep. Oh wow.
Yeah, I get gloves in here.
Wait, what? How did he get here? He
I
just
don't know.
avoided the vision by from Morgana. Yeah, so we expect that sweep of Rackle to be
Yeah.
whatever that is from
I saw
Saya.
like Morgana there, right? I was like, oh, actually, it should be fine. But they were just cheesing me in this bush, which I guess, I mean, I could
Wow.
have expected this. And I think actually I tapped out for a second as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting this at all because we have this vision, we have
Yeah.
this ward here, and we kind of like yeah, actually kind of a Houdini play by the maokai. I actually like that a lot. He just avoided this ward placed by. Oh, actually, we saw
I
the
should have,
sapling
yeah,
here.
I just wanted to say this. Yeah,
Oh, we saw the
I did not,
sapling.
I
Okay,
just realized this as well. I think I
okay.
actually tapped out or something, to be honest, here, because you see my escape, right? It's like, it's a bit unlucky.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. Not too much to worry about again. Like I was expecting Maokai to go to bot side anyway, but he apparently wants to play for this Herald. But yep. Oh, he actually took the. Oh, he actually took the red here as well. Oh yeah, there was definitely some indication, but again, like it has to be really fast to notice. Okay, what the fuck? Someone's taking my red. It's probably not the Scion, you know. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, they made kind of a Houdini play. We were in a false sense of security with this ward, so yeah,
And then this
it's not
hits
a
me
big
also
deal.
somehow. I don't know how this hits.
Yep. And again, what we want to do, what you want to think of when you're playing Vi and Maokai and Zac and uh, Wukong, you're really ult-oriented champion. So again, like every time you see your ult coming up, you want to come up with a plan. Okay, what do I want to do with this ult? Where do I want to go?
Okay. So kind of using it off cooldown, basically, like in an idea.
Yep, basically, yeah. That's a good baseline to have, yeah. Obviously, you want to achieve something by using ult, for example, this Herald or a double kill or whatever.
Hmm.
600 junglers, when ult is coming up soon, always try to come up with a plan on how to use it or how to get the best value out of it. For example, I would be looking towards getting this Herald, for example, here with the ult. And again, it's really nice. Our bot lane is actually shifted towards the mid lane. So again, we have more numbers on this Herald side. So again, that's something I would look towards doing. Yep, we end up going mid anyway. Yep, I like this. Just looking for some potential plays here, maybe. He goes for a ballsy dive, actually lives. He dies. Okay, good. Yep, let's see. Yep, this should be really good for us. Okay. I saw another
I
thing.
kind of realized that the red was gone too late, I think.
Yeah. Um, so there's a small mechanical misplay here with Wukong. Uh, you physically cannot cancel your Q with ult. So what you want to do is you want to E Q ult instantly. You cannot cancel the Q. It's impossible. So basically the basic combo is always use Q before you use ult. Another thing is when you use Q, it goes on cooldown. You use ult. This actually acts as an auto attack for you. So it's gonna bring your Q cooldown back. So it's really important part of doing damage because now you are not even proccing your Sheen here at all, for example.
That's true, yeah. Okay, that's a good point, yeah. To be honest, I just hate the decision in general as well. But that would have helped for sure, though. I don't know. I don't know why I decided to go in here. Like, I don't think I ever do. Do you think I ever kill Sion here? Like, even if I played correctly, or
Probably
like,
not since we don't have a divine.
yeah,
Does he have an item? Okay.
I think it's just a bad play in general, right?
I want to see their items. Do they have items?
He
Yeah.
has Ludens.
Yeah, we could have killed this Kog'Maw, I think for sure. That's what I was excited for. But yeah, then he starts running away. Yeah, maybe just E on this guy and try to get away. But again, yeah, again, actually, yeah, we just lose the turret to the demolish here.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
just a brief play, to be honest.
yeah, maybe just give up. Just try to recognize. Okay, the turret is already gone. There's nothing I can do. So again, like
Yeah,
what ended up happening, we ended up getting absolutely zero value out of our ult. So that's again like a really bad thing when we are playing these six oriented junglers. And yeah, now we probably have to recall for health. We don't. Okay, so uh, pretty good default rule here as well. There are two good reasons to recall. Two good reasons to recall. Spend gold, get item, etc. And the other thing is uh, for resource, for HP, for
Mm-hmm.
resource, for HP. Because again, like if something does break out, we are way too low to have any impact on the game anyway.
Yeah. I think my idea was I just really want to get divine, but
Yeah. But again, like I would prioritize us being ready for fights here over than
Mhm.
just getting this amount of gold.
Yeah,
Because
makes
again, like
sense. Yeah,
yeah, I mean I get the
I
idea,
agree.
but again, like recall when you're low HP, it's a pretty good
I
basic
agree.
rule.
I agree.
Yep. So again, like we could be maybe looking for this bot play here. Guys is pushing up, but yeah, we are too low. Just danger ping, danger ping. There's something we can do. Drake is spawning up soon. Yep. And again, what I like to do when I'm approaching objectives when I'm playing these ult heavy junglers, just ping your ult and just maybe even type wait for my ult, play for my ult, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because we really don't want to fight without ult. That's the one thing which makes this champion such a good team fighter is the ult, and we just really don't want to fight
Yeah.
without. But yep, we do end up getting divine, really good. Yep. So what happens? We end up fighting without ult again. Horrendous.
Uh, don't talk about the W, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think you can wall hop that at all. But yeah, again, like so the big red flag here is, or a few big red flags. Red flags with display. I probably wouldn't expect you to jungle track too much here, but like the basic idea again, like our first camp spawns, usually the enemy jungler is on their first camp as well. But that's kind of beside the point. More important thing here is that red flag with display. We have no vision of players. We don't know where they are. They are, and we are entering the enemy area. What is it called? Enemy territory. We're entering
Mm-hmm.
enemy territory. Territory. And the biggest red flag here, no ult. So basically, by us patting this way, we are looking for the fight, but we actually don't want to be looking for the fight at all because we don't have the ult. And again, that's really fucking important. No
Okay.
ult on
Like,
wukong. Really important cooldown. So what we could have done here, we could have just like waited for the ult again, and just kind of hover around here, maybe hit up blue. Just wait for the ult because again, just don't fight without your ult when you're playing these junglers.
all right.
Yep, if we're playing the blues in the Drake here. Again, we recognize, okay, we lost Drake. There's something to do us here. Are we maybe looking towards trading something? Again, like the main idea when you have to keep something up.
Yeah. Try to get Herald here, right?
Yep, always like to look for something to trade. When you have to keep something up, always look to getting something in return. So the last thing we want to do here is go to your blue buff and then like sequence up with maokai and like go for another 5v5 on the herald because again like if you lose that one we have basically lost the game at that point, you know.
Yeah. You want to get something for free, right?
Yep.
When he's doing something
Yep.
else.
And the general rule here as well, like we are losing, we are kind of in a losing situation. You actually have the splits. Shows you how much gold exactly we are losing. But like
Yeah.
even based on like the turrets and the kills, we know we are losing. So that's something I'm gonna talk to you in a moment when you have to always look for getting something in return.
Mm-hmm.
Trade plays. You can even trade ganks and stuff like that. For example, your top side marker makes a gank. You always want to look out for the immediate option on the opposite side of the map.
Okay.
Every time we know where jungler is. For example, they Drake, we get the notification, whatever, or we see them on the map. Always look for immediate action where the enemy cannot contest us. So that's what we call having tempo in the
What's that?
jungle. So basically, when
Mm.
you are in a position where you get to make a play somewhere before the enemy jungler is like able to affect that play or have an effect on that play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we call tempo. So for example, if you watch like jungling guides and stuff like the high low junglers, they always talk about tempo, 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 everything. But like people just don't like to explain it so much. But yeah, like the higher you go again, like tempo becomes way more important because it doesn't matter even if you're playing against the best jungler in the world. If you're making play somewhere where they cannot impact it, then of course this it doesn't matter if he's Iron 4, if he's challenger rank 1, he's not gonna be
Yeah.
able to do anything about it. So yep, we gotta hover it. So again, we could expect that we were seen because this guy starts backing up. So maybe drop your ping in this brush, for example.
Hmm.
Yeah, we don't have sweeper, but this would be a good time to use a sweeper.
I don't really like this, to be honest. That I just watched him do this, but yeah,
I mean, I think this is good because again, like uh, enemy team, they are nearby. They're gonna be way closer to hitting you than you will be to hitting or killing these guys. Or your team is not able to help you here at all. So I
yeah,
wouldn't go for this fight at all. Yeah, but what
I
we
agree.
could do is we see this guy going towards top. We see this guy disappearing from mid. They're gonna be the top side of the river. They're gonna walk towards you because obviously they saw you. So what you could do is you could look for again immediate action elsewhere. These guys are pushing the wave, creating for the wave. Low HP, no mana, stuff like that.
I think I do actually get her at the end, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Yep, again the Q. Just like go to practice to learn, practice the Q. It's
yeah, I see this.
literally
Yeah,
impossible to miss it,
mm,
and it's really important because you don't actually proc your divine this way.
yeah,
No,
that's
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 that's the
really
most
huge. Yeah,
important thing here. Yeah,
yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
it's gonna add
What
so
do
much damage
you
to your combo. Yep,
do? You think it like about the flash though? Do you think like it makes a difference? Like, can they flash it if you Q, or
I'm
do you
gonna
think they
show
cannot flash
you.
it anyways?
I'm gonna show you in practice right now, actually.
Okay. I'm just thinking. I mean, I definitely agree. I should queue. I'm just thinking about like what do you think happens with like the flash
Yeah, I mean,
flash.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you want to think about. But it's like a good practice is always get the Q in because it's so instant. I'm gonna show you, but like, yeah, I mean, that's yeah, because every person I've told this, they're like, oh, but what if they flash? What if they flash? But yeah, like
Okay.
you can just when you practice it, you can get it done so fast that there's like virtually no difference between you ulting instantly or after the Q.
Alright, alright. I'll check that then. I'll do some practicing on it.
Yep, I'm gonna show you right now just to make it more clear.
Do you like press it already, like maybe even before the E, or how do
Uh,
you do it?
so basically, I E and I click on them to make sure that my Q is gonna land instantly. And yeah, I can activate it. I can activate it like as I'm flying towards them.
Hmm.
So you can see it goes down instantly, and you can cancel the animation completely. So my Q goes off there. My Q goes off there. Like there's virtually no difference between this and this. So basically, click on them to attack them. Press E, Q already active while you're flying, and sends ult when you're on top of them.
Okay, cool. I'll try to work on that a bit.
Yep, and you can also you can do stuff like, for example, on your second usage, you can do EAAQ ult. So you can see how fast it is, even though I get one AA here as well. But yeah,
Hmm.
this is definitely the basic the basic cookie cutter combo for Wukong. Definitely want to get it down.
Okay, cool. I'll for sure try to implement that.
Yep. But what I like about this is we basically again we utilize our tempo. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that's what I really like about it. So we knew again what time is it? 13:44.
25. Oh,
We
that's
knew
that. Yeah.
exactly where enemy jungler is, and more important, we knew where the enemy team is. For example, in these kind of situations, we have to utilize the team tempo, not only the individual tempo between me and the enemy jungler. We know exactly where the
Hmm.
enemy jungler is. We go for the play where they cannot get to. So again, like we look for immediate action when we know where the enemy jungler is. This is what I like about this. I love this because this is exactly what you want to do. Yep, really good. And again, now I would be scared of walking back because again, we used everything. We knew they were kind of in the area. This guy disappeared. Again,
Hmm.
when you enter the river, think about who can actually help me. These guys are kind of on the way, but if you find them in the middle of all this, these guys are like irrelevant. They are not going to be able to help you.
Yeah, I'm
So
dead
yeah, we
then.
actually
So
decide against that. Good, awesome. Yep. So now we see Maokai and the Drake actually doing it again. He's a greedy bastard. Yep. Now we can look for the fight.
here, what do you think of like the decision making here?
I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna explain why I like this. Uh, so the basic rule behind fighting. Um, General rules behind fighting. Skirmishing, team fights, whatever. General rules in fighting. Uh, Hit the target your team is hitting.
Hmm.
Target your team is hitting. So again, like our Vex is trying to kill this guy, and again, it's like Maokai versus
Morgana.
Morgana. I don't really care. Like this Morgana is not dead anyway. Like this Maokai is only like 3 feet the fight himself by going on this Morgana. He should be going on this guy because again, like what we talked about, you want to hit the target your team is already hitting, just to make sure that you're doing the most damage as possible, like to one target.
Mhm.
This is how you really turn team fights. You always want to focus on one guy basically. So yep, this is really good. Another thing, another good thing here is focus on the damage dealers. Again, there's only one damage dealer here, and we went for that guy. Really fucking good. Damage dealers first, and kind of like a Wukong specific thing, or Vi or stuff like that. Zach, they are diver champions. They are diver champions. So in team fights, for example, when you think about like target choosing or selection, you want to go for the champions who are prone to getting dove. For example, Kokmo or Soraka or stuff like that. They're divers, divide scenarios, look to dive the champs who are weak against it. So, yep, obviously we don't want to dive the Maokai because he has E, he has W, he can like get away from you really fast. This guy has to flash straight up. Like Kokma has literally nothing to get away from you. So if you get your combo down on them, he's gonna die. But yep, really good target selection. Yep, and now we can maybe look to fight this again. Like think about who's the damage dealer out of these two guys. It's gonna be the Maokai. So now I would be targeting the Maokai. But yeah, we just end up dying here anyway. But yep, I have I don't really dislike anything about this. Our Vexus gets blown up. The fact is that she doesn't have ult, so that's kind of the red flag behind this fight. But I would still go for this because again, like we could have gotten a big value. I think Kokma has a bounty here, so yeah, I don't really mind this. Again, like the damage is already done. We lost the objective. And it's a 3v3. Let's go for the 3v3. Yep.
Alright. Yeah, here at the end I was like thinking it's kind of doomed anyways, and I just thought that maybe if Kog'Maw greets, I could like E over the wall, but it
Yeah.
was too late. So
Yep.
can you actually E over that wall? Like I think you can, right?
Yeah, you can E over this wall. You can W over this wall as well. Like at this range, yeah, you can
Yeah, I
E.
know about the W. Yeah, I was not sure about the E though.
Yeah, you could E
But
here,
I
yeah.
don't.
But we
Yeah,
don't
I
have E,
was.
so yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
But yeah, like again, like when you think of like positioning here, obviously we arrived to this position because we wanted to dive this guy in the first place. But again, like as I said, you want to target the you want to position yourself so you are hitting the same guy as the enemy team is. You also want to position yourself
Mm.
so the enemy team is like not all of them are able to be to hit you. That's kind of
Yeah.
the two sides of the same coin.
So ideally here I would kite towards like
Yeah,
Morgana
kite
here.
towards Morgana. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this guy can't hit you over the wall. Yep.
Mhm.
But I mean, this fight is doomed anyway. We don't have ult again. Like it's whatever. But yeah, it's the general rules. So now we come for the pickaxe. Yeah, Maokai is just fucking annoying. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They greet luckily slightly
Yep.
again.
Yeah, this Maokai is really greedy. So basically, what he's doing right now, he's been on the map again for a long time. He has a lot of gold here. For example, you can see here his items. He has nothing but demonic and dark seal, basic boots. We're gonna see when he comes back from base. He spent at least like 2k5 gold. So if I was this Maokai, again, if we were reviewing this Maokai, I would not go for this like such a fucking overextended play because again we have a lot of gold. We already like got what we came here for. Just recall, try to set up this herald and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, he really creates here, gives us some breathing space. Again, this guy's dead. Maybe we can look for the herald option while he's dead.
I go for the boring play.
Yep. So the issue with this is, I actually promised to talk about this, but I forgot. So general rule in League, uh, when behind, as we are in this game, we are behind. When behind, you want to avoid the enemy jungler and trade players and trade objectives. For example, if you watch someone like Bo, if he's losing, the Herald is spawning. He has all his camps up here. He doesn't go for the Herald at all. He just runs straight bot and wants to trade because again, like we can really easily like predict what the winner team is gonna do. They're gonna go for the objectives. So this is something
Yeah.
what you can do. For example, is that we could probably start even topside clear here and move for this bot side because again, like we can really easily expect where the enemy jungler is gonna be when they are winning. But yep,
Okay.
when behind, you want to avoid the enemy jungler and make trade plays, uh, make plays on the opposite side of the map to kind of get back into the game.
Okay.
And when ahead, you want to match the enemy jungler and deny them. You want to match and
Mhm.
deny. So again, like the basic or the philosophy behind this is that in League of Legends, we always want to look for the unfair fight. Always want
Mm-hmm.
to look for the unfair fight. And this becomes specifically important when we are losing, because at that point we can't even look for the fair fight because we are already losing. If you got a fair fight, like we just out to lose the game, and that's how like we just like let the game like kind of like we just start bleeding out and we just end up losing the game.
Yeah.
Always want to look for unfair plays. If behind, we lose the fair play. But yeah, like in general, again, like always look for the unfair play. That's why we want to. That's why we want to gank people, because 3v2, for example, in the bot lane. That's why it works.
Yeah.
It's an unfair play.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, so now we are kind of arriving in a bad situation because again we're gonna be matching the marker at the top side of the map. We are significantly weaker. We kind of you're kind of hoping for some fucking magical journey to happen here, but it's probably not gonna happen. I'm surprised if we do turn this around. But yeah, like general rule, we can expect where the enemy is gonna be, and we are just kind of letting matching them on the same side.
Yep.
But yeah, also another thing we could have talked about was the maokai dies. We respawn faster. We have 10-pawn map. Again, like look for the most risky thing you could get away with, because again the enemy jungler is dead, so we have kind of
Mm-hmm.
freedom on the map.
Yeah.
Look to utilize his death timer. Yep, we end up fighting this guy. Again, I probably wouldn't use my ult here. Uh,
Okay.
and again, like what you always want to do, for example, if you are not trying to do the E combo, just always start with the Q, because again, it's the
Yeah.
divine is really important to proc.
Really. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, so we actually don't. Now is the first time we hit we proc divine against a Scion in like 10 seconds. So yeah,
Yeah.
obviously
That's a good point.
kind of the mechanics. So yeah, and now we arrived to a situation we don't have ult, it's already a team fight, and yeah, now we are gonna lose. And again, like this goes back to how we ended up in this position anyway. We just matched this guy to the top side of the map while we are behind. It's
Yeah.
bound to go
I see.
badly for our team.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting how it comes back then like this way.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Is
I
this
didn't think
victory
of this
game? Do you
being.
win this?
No, no, I think it was.
Okay.
I think we get a few more comebacks. I think we are kind of back in the game. I think at some point, but we lose.
Yeah, actually we can talk a bit about that ult usage there. So when you're playing these ult heavy junglers, you really want the ult for the team fight. But again, the way we can make the fair fight unfair is we get a pick off. So again, like you can look with your ult, you can look for the pick, but again, it has to be high value
Mm-hmm.
target. For example, this Sion, he's not going to do much in the team fight anyway. So I really wouldn't want to blow my ult here before the team fight even starts on the guy. Like basically, this guy is the least valuable target to pick before the team fight after Brown. So like
Mm-hmm.
always look out for the most value out of your ult.
Okay.
Always think of getting the most value with your ult. Like for example, if this guy even played it better, he would have just gotten away with his ult anyway. Like it's just
Yeah, true.
yeah. C11. Sion is the least valuable target in the enemy team comp after Brown. So yeah, you have this long cooldown. It's really important to your champion to have this ult for the team fight. So if you want
Yeah.
to get a pick, yep, it's really good to get a pick, because again we can make the fair fight unfair fight, removing one player from the team. So again we would arrive to the okay unfair fight. Good stuff. But again, like just think of the value you get from even killing this guy. I would not use
Yeah.
my ult here at all. I would just save it for
Yeah.
the team fight.
Mm, I agree.
And again, because they have these two champs, they're kind of prone to getting dove. Kaiser has the panic rule, and this guy just has literally no counterplay, especially uh, when he had to blow his flash. And so if this guy, if he doesn't get like hard peeled, he's gonna die to your dive.
Yeah.
So yeah. So again, what I would like to look to do here is I want to be topside on this Drake timer, because again, like we are
Mhm.
not fucking winning this team fight. It's not gonna happen. So again, like we could look for a pick here. Someone's gonna defend this turret, something like that. So again, like just look to trade. Look to avoid and trade the enemy jungler when you're behind. So for example, when I'm in a losing game like this, I have no issue giving even do 3 Drakes. Obviously, I do usually want to start fighting for the third Drake or the soul point. Uh, but yeah, obviously I want to fight for the soul. But like when you're behind like this, it's just no point to like fight for this drake because we're just gonna lose, you know.
Yeah.
So again, like when behind, avoid. Again, like we are playing kind of their game now. Since we are like going wherever they are, and we are just kind of trying to kill them. But again, like we just don't have the damage. We are so much behind. So yeah,
Mm,
obviously it's not gonna work out, and it's kind of the reason we lose this game is we just keep going wherever this guy is already, and the
mhm,
enemy team. This
yeah.
is so much stronger. So we
Yeah.
could
So
be, for
basically, try
example,
to
top.
get away.
Yeah, just try to avoid when you are behind.
Yeah. Okay.
Just gonna check how much time we have left.
I don't know. How much is 1 hour? If it's 1 hour, we're already over it.
Yeah, okay. So if you have any questions about this game, we can also cover them before end of the session. But yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have. But if you have
Okay.
any
Okay.
questions, just like ask away.
Okay. Cool. I mean, I think like I learned a few new like ideas about what to do, especially like this just running away from the enemy jungler and trying to do something on the other side of the map is like kind of
Yep,
really
really,
important.
really important. Really, really
Yeah.
important.
Mm. Mm.
So yep,
So
and especially
what
yep.
yeah, can I just ask what do you look for? Like, do you look just for like killing the enemy or like invades or like let's say
Uh,
there's no other objective, right? Let's say like Drake is up, but there's no Herald, there's no Baron. What do you
yep.
do?
So what I would look out for here. Uh, so again, like we go to like what the enemy team still doesn't want to lose all this threat, for example. So I would really highly be expecting that someone goes here to defend this, and I would want to pick that guy off. You
Hmm.
know, like we gonna pick off there, like no one's able to do anything. It's like 2v1 me and Camille here, and then we hit the turret. These guys get the Drake. We might even get to touch the second tier 2 here. Or for example, if they go for a play like this, we could be hitting this tier 2 here. So that's already like uh, by us getting one pick here and getting these two turrets, there's already gonna be a 2k gold swing in our favor.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's kind of the idea. I want to generate some gold for us somewhere where the enemy cannot stop us.
Hmm.
But yeah, the main thing here is I would be looking towards someone defending this turret. I assume someone's gonna come defend this turret soon. Yeah, Cockmore is here. For example, Cockmore here, he cannot escape
Yeah,
our
for
dive.
sure
We know he
dive
has no
for
flash. Yeah, so we'd be
yeah.
killing this guy, get the turret,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Again, we would be getting value out of losing this Drake. We would actually be end up winning on the gold, like in terms of like gold value for play by taking this top play instead of going for this Drake at all.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
But yeah, if you were the winning jungler, then again, just always go for the objective player or the objective time as because we can expect that the enemy team wants to do what we do here and like come contest even though it's like doomed.
Hmm. Okay.
So again, when behind, avoid and trade, and when ahead, match and deny.
Okay. Perfect. Cool. Thank you.
Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna send you these notes right now, and then I'm gonna upload this for YouTube shortly, and I'm gonna link it to you. And I want you to watch it back because again, like this is an hour long, like boom, 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 a lot of fucking information. So
Yeah.
in order to make something actually sticks, just watch it over a few times.